Well, hello there, and welcome back to Lisa's Coloring Corner. Today I wanted to continue on coloring with the glitter gel pens in Mindful Mandalas. This is the picture we were coloring, and we'll just continue where we left off. Let me zoom you back in. Okay, so I think I'm going to go in these little spots with the dark blue because I think I want a little bit more brown. So I'm going to do the bigger things in brown. So we will start over here. If I remember, I will link part 1 to this color in chat down below in the description. I know I appreciate that when other color tubers link other parts. Uh-oh, I screwed up. Did you see that? Okay. Oh well, it is what it is. I do appreciate it when other color tubists link, you know, if it's a multi-part video where they link the previous parts down below so you don't have to go searching through their videos to find the previous parts. So I know one other time I said I would do that and then I totally forgot to. So I will hopefully remember. Matter of fact, let me jot that down. Part 2, link part 1. Always good to keep a notepad over there. So, how is everybody doing? It is still Saturday, but I wanted to get this second part done. Like I said in part 1, I do want to get that part up today yet, so it is rendering as we speak. And then I'm going to do some more diamond painting. What are you guys all doing today? Are you coloring, diamond painting, crocheting? Doing the things that we all have to do when we're not coloring, like cleaning, laundry, dishes? Or are you just relaxing with a good book or a good movie? My hand's kind of in the way a lot, isn't it? Hopefully you're coloring and you're not actually watching what I'm doing, you're just listening. 9 times out of 10, I know that's what I do when I watch the coloring chats, or I should say listen to the coloring chats. And then just periodically look up and see what they're working on and how they're doing. Unless it's a part of the video where I'm really interested in how they do something. Yeah, then I put my pens down or my markers down or whatever I'm coloring with, and I'll watch it a little more intently. or if as they're talking they are pointing something out specific, then yeah, then I pay more attention. Otherwise I just kind of listen. I'm hoping there'll be a nice long color and chat that I can listen to tonight as I diamond paint. Or maybe there's it's called drill with me's instead of diamond painting and chat as we call it, kind of like our color and chats. They call them drill with me's, so that you diamond paint as they diamond paint. So same premise, different name. Alrighty. So, I think, because I do not have much dark brown at all in here, I'm going to go with the lighter browns for the smaller ones and darker browns for the bigger ones. It is still really cold and dreary here. Hasn't started raining again yet, but by tonight it's really supposed to be coming down in buckets. Bella hates it when we get thunderstorms in summertime. Oh my gosh. That dog, I swear, she's afraid of her own shadow. She is deathly afraid if Jaden gets out one of his toy guns. Oh, better not, you know, shoot it off, even though some of them don't even make that much noise. Yeah, she gets scared when he just brings it out. And he was at, it's called WOW. It stands for something on the water. Something, yeah, I can't think, but it's WOW. And it's got a whole arcade in there and a restaurant and a bar, and it's just it's a relatively new place in Wausau. And so he was there, and he had gotten a bunch of tickets worth at the arcade, and he cashed them in, and he had gotten a couple of toy guns, and then he got a blue balloon for Maddie. And she loves balloons. All she had to do was get that balloon out, and Bella just hopped up on the arm of the chair by me, just a shaking. And she wasn't even, you know, making that squeaky noise when you squeeze it and stuff. She was just hanging on to it. But it was so sweet. I asked her where she, you know, a little bit later, I asked her where her balloon was. Here, she put it in the other room so it wouldn't scare Bella. I thought that was so cute. She can be such a peanut when she wants to be. But yeah, that was cute. She didn't want to scare Bella. She is an animal lover. When I had taken her to the park in Wausau, because she is just constantly bugging to go to the park. And of course, when school is in session, I can't take her to the playground, the school playground over here across the street. And she doesn't really understand that. So last Monday, I believe it was, I ran all the way into Wausau and took her to Marathon Park. And I know I talked about this in a previous video, but there was a older gentleman, as I was pushing her on one of the swings, that came by with his little doggie. Her name was Sophie. And, oh, Maddie was in seventh heaven. She had to get off the swing. You know, it was a swing I was pushing her in for over half an hour. She just loved it, but Oh yeah, as soon as that doggy came over, she had to get out of that swing and go over by the dog. Just a little thing, friendly as can be. So yeah, she is a big animal lover. But she sure can be mean to him sometimes. You know, she doesn't really realize, you know, what... I mean, she knows what she's doing. I know that. But I don't think she really comprehends that sometimes what she does can hurt them. So I try to explain to her, you know, that's a 2-year-old's mentality. Well, almost 3. They don't think about their consequences. I had mentioned in, oh, we're out of this one too. I had mentioned in the previous video, Bob and I had gone out to eat last night, and I had gotten a chicken stir fry, and this thing was on a platter so huge, it literally is enough for at least 4 meals for me. And I took a bite of this. I mean, it looked really, really good. And I took a bite of it, and oh my heavens, was this salty. And for me to say that, you know it had to have been bad. I am a salt fanatic. It was really super, like, I don't know if tangy's the right word, but it was almost like the chef dumped like half a bottle of soy sauce or something on it. Just way too much, and it had to have been the full sodium soy sauce. I always buy the lower sodium soy sauce now, because otherwise, yeah, when I make a stir fry, it can have a tendency of getting way too salty with the regular soy sauce. And that's sure seemed like what happened to this dish. Oh my heavens. But yet I hated to just have him throw it away, so I did elect to bring it home. I had him put it in a doggy dish. I did eat some. Oh boy. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I swear, the older that dog gets, the worse she is getting. The neighbor, a car pulled into my neighbor's driveway. How dare they? I think it was her daughter-in-law. I mean, the nerve of some people. She's still kind of woofing in there. Good heavens. Used to be she just went berserk when, you know, dogs would come by. Now, even when just people go walking by, she starts going nuts. They walk by or they're jogging by. Oh, and heaven forbids if they're jogging by with a dog. Double whammy. I know last summer I had closed the blinds on the big front windows when it started getting to the point where there were a lot of people and dogs coming by because it was getting nice out. And the little stinker would just stick her nose down, because again, my front windows, living room windows, are like floor to ceiling windows. They're only like maybe not even a foot off the ground is where the bottom starts. So she would just proceed to go over there and stick her nose underneath the blind and push it up so she could still see out. She's no dummy. So yeah, that didn't really work. And then we got another one drying out. Well, holy cow. Well, not drying out, running out. Good thing I brought all the refills. Holy cow. I didn't think these were all that low. Okay. There, now it's going. Oh yeah, I can still hear woof, woof. As long as she doesn't start barking her full head off again, we'll be okay. Seems like 9 times out of 10 when I'm in a color and chat video, she's gotta start up. I'm so sorry. We always gotta pause so I can go and hush up my dog. Animals. That's what I always tell her. She's lucky she's so cute. And she is such a lovable little thing. Even though she barks like crazy, she'd probably lick a burglar to death. After she was done barking at him. So yeah, I never did finish that story then. Brought home that stir fry, that chicken stir fry then. I thought, well, there's got to be a way that I can doctor this up, you know. Either adding, I thought, well, maybe if I add, you know, a bit of like brown sugar or something to cut down the salty taste of it. So, because I had a ton left over, and so I put it in a bowl for lunch today, and I added some brown sugar, heated it up a little bit, added some brown sugar so the brown sugar would melt, and tried it, and yeah, it's much better. Of course, the bigger pieces of vegetables and the, you know, pieces of chicken itself that had soaked up, you know, the sauce and stuff was still saltier, but it was edible and it was much better than how it was. But I still can't imagine the sodium content of that stir fry, which I definitely don't have to worry about, because 9 times out of 10 when I have my checkups, my blood work always comes back as low sodium. Eat more salt. Oh, you don't have to tell me that twice. Drink less water. Okay. I have no idea how my body uses up the salt that I do eat. I would think if anything, I would have high sodium. So my body must do something with it. I don't know. But I guess it's a good thing that it does do something with it, because, like I said, I put salt on most of my food. Like my daughter, she does not cook with salt at all. She does not put salt on anything. Not pasta when she's boiling it, not anything. And so, of course, to me, her food is really blah. But it's good that they're used to it that way. Much healthier. And then the kids grow up with not needing much salt on their food too, so. She probably thinks my food is so salty because sometimes she'll take, usually on the weekends I make a bigger meal. Like tonight I'm making baked, well it's potatoes and carrots and then chicken breasts in there, and you bake it all together with seasoning on and stuff. And of course I'll add salt to the dishes I make, and especially if I make something bigger in the crock pot, which I love cooking with my crock pot. And so I'll have quite a few leftovers, and if she doesn't have really anything to bring for lunch, or she forgets her lunch, I'll give her some of whatever I made over the weekend and give it to her to have for lunch to heat up at work. She's never said anything, but she probably thinks, geez, Mom, how much salt did you put in here? And when I cook it, I don't put a ton in because I know not everybody likes that much salt. I'll just put a little bit in, and then if I want more salt, I'll add it to my plate. So maybe it's not that bad for her then. But with her not used to any salt at all, you would think when she goes out to eat, everything would taste salty to her then, because she's just used to not having salt on anything. How did I get on that subject? Oh yeah, my stir fry. Bad memory. It's a good memory, it's just very short. Baby birdies are still alone out in the garage. Mommy and Daddy have been gone all day. After I opened up the garage door this morning, Mommy was in there all night, and then, yeah, it wasn't too much later, and I seen she was gone. And yeah, little BBs have been in there by themselves all day. Still not making a peep. So, you know, with them being in the garage, don't the mama and daddy birdies teach them how to fly? How are they going to do that in a garage? Or do they just instinctively know how to do that? I thought I always heard about how they teach their young ones to fly. And with what I read on the internet about the fact that they typically only have two little ones at a time, but they can have up to 6 broods in a season. So we may be having more baby birdies in there this summer. I guess I didn't realize they had more than one. Do all birds have multiple batches of little ones during the summer? I guess I never thought about it. I suppose they do. Gotta hatch them birdies out while it's nice out, right? We're getting there. Yeah, there's no way I could have done this whole thing in one color and chat. Well, I could have. I've already done almost a 3-hour color and chat. That's pretty long though. But I've done a number that have been around 2 hours. So 2.5. So I do have a tendency of doing longer color and chats, but I hear from you that in your comments that you like the longer coloring chats. So when I have the time, that is what I like to do for you. Again, hoping I have enough to jabber on about. Alrighty. Now, even though I goofed up here with this dark blue, I'm going to go around with the light blue here. That one's just going to be screwed up. Because on top of here, I'm going to have to do the dark blue again because we got the two different browns. So there'll just be some dark blue together there. Naturally, it has to be right up on top too. Of course. See, when my pen quits working, I always just flick my wrist. So if you ever hear me doing that off to the side, that's what I do. Just a quick flick of the wrist or two, and it starts working again. These typically don't stop working too very often. I know some I've had other brands where they quit on you quite often, but these don't too bad. Every once in a while, especially when it's a new refill that you just put in. You know, number one, it of course takes just a little bit to get it going most of the time, but then for a little bit it may stop on you for a little bit here and there. But after it gets going, it typically is pretty good. Get back on camera, Lisa. I keep hearing this sound up at the top of my desk, and it's a sound that almost sounds like the bubbles in like a soda can or something. And so I'm like, but my soda isn't over there. What the heck? And here it's that clock I had bought, and it's battery operated, so you don't have to plug it into the wall, but yet it doesn't go tick, 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 which is awesome because that not only would drive me nuts, but if it's loud enough, you guys would hear it while I'm recording, and I didn't want that. But it makes this little sound. So now at least I know what the sound is. It took me a while. I'm like, oh, it's the clock. But I really love that clock. I think it's like a 10-inch. And I had ordered it off of AliExpress. And it looks like a color wheel. And it has all the pretty colors going all the way around. And I thought, how appropriate. And it, coming from AliExpress in China, it was really reasonable. I think that thing was under 10 bucks. I think it was like $8 or $9. Had to wait, of course, for it. You know, slow boat from China. But now I finally have a clock on my desk, because I would always say, I have no idea what time it is. And typically that's not a big deal when I'm recording. But when I record in the morning, I have to know what time it is so that I know if it's getting close to the time when Maddie's going to be here. And it's already Saturday. I know Many of you are like saying, what do you mean already? We've been waiting for this all week. But I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and my Fridays always go so fast. I have all these things I want to get done and all these videos I want to get made, and I end up getting, like yesterday, I got 2 videos made. Woohoo! One of them I had to redo. The first part I had to pause in the middle of the recording, and for some reason I had to pause twice actually, so there were 3 parts to the video, and part 2 and 3 were there, but the first one wasn't. So I had to record it again, and hopefully got that and part 2 tied in together. I looked where I had, started in part 2, so then when I re-recorded part 1, I tried to end it where I knew part 2 picked up, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Did you follow all that gibberish? Probably not. But yeah, don't know what happened to that part. So that didn't help any, and then I knew I had to hop in the shower and get to town and get my errands run. So as one of them were rendering, I got everything copied over to my computer from my phone. That took a while, and then as it was rendering in the editor, I went and hopped in the shower, got it uploaded to, or had it uploading to YouTube then as I went into town, so that it was done by the time I came back. And yes, sometimes it can take that long. Depends how long the video is. But that was the color and chat that I put up, was it last night or this morning? Last night. Of course, today's Saturday, so yeah, last night would have been Friday night. I'm putting part 1 up today on Saturday, so this part 2 will probably be going up tomorrow on Sunday, so that is when you will see this. It's always kind of hard to keep track when you record videos ahead of time. So many times when I record my videos, it's recorded ahead of time because I like to record a number of them on the weekends to have content to release to you guys during the week. So a lot of times I don't know when, I record them, what day they're going to be going up. I was supposed to be having something coming in the mail yesterday that I was going to be doing a video on, and it never came yesterday, and now it didn't come today. So it would have been nice to be able to do this video over the weekend rather than having to do it in the morning or in the evening during the week. But, oh well, I'll do it whenever I get it. And I have something coming from Amazon today via UPS, and I don't have any outstanding orders on Amazon, so I have no idea what is coming. It's a surprise. Love surprises like that. But yeah, I can't imagine. I know it's not Sun Life Drawing. Number 1, they don't have a new book out that I know of. And number 2, Sun Life Drawing always comes by mail. So I know it's not that. Oh, speaking of Sun Life drawing, for those of you that have seen my video when I colored the inverted mandala picture, and I had noticed that there was parts of the design that were missing, Sun Life Drawing got in contact with me because they do always watch my videos and they'll comment on them and stuff. They're just so nice. And he said he apologized for the errors in the book and that they are being reissued with the corrected pages, and had even asked if I wanted the updated books sent to me. And I thought, well, are there other pages that were incorrect too? Because I guess if there were a number of them that had to be updated, I guess, you know, they wouldn't have to, but I guess it would be nice to have the newer books, because I do plan on coloring quite a bit out of those books because I love them both. And but especially if that's the only one, I get, there's really not a need to. But I just said it was, totally up to him. But I thought that was, very nice of him. Number one, to always watch my videos. He'll watch the flip throughs, and then he'll even watch my coloring chats and always comment on them. So for them to jump right on it and make the corrections to that book, I thought was awesome. So for any of you that watched that video and, that missing artwork would have bothered you too, it is being fixed, or it already is fixed. Sun Life Drawing is awesome like that. They're really on the ball. They have great PR. I mean, they are just so awesome to work with and so generous. I mean, not only have they sponsored a number of giveaways for me on my channel, they have sponsored giveaways for others. I know Zoe just had a giveaway for, I think it was the Animal Stencils book. And I think maybe Anne might have had a giveaway. I know they always send her their newest books too, and Zoe. And Zoe really colors a ton out of the Sun Life Drawing books. When we had Sun Life Drawing Month, oh, that was so much fun. And holy cow, that girl got a lot of pictures done. I'm shocked she doesn't have one of those books done, because she's got 13 completed books. Oh, come on, Bella. I'll be right back. All right, I am back once again. Actually, this time she had something to bark about, because it was the UPS guy. It's my first Happy Mail. I'm so excited. This person sent me 3 books by the same author, so I'm going to have to do another video and do flip throughs of those books. I'm so excited. It's the little things in life, right? That was so nice of her. I'm not going to say her name either here or in that video. She didn't indicate that, I could say her name, but oh, I don't know if those were on my wish list or not. I think they actually were. She had just indicated that she loves this artist and thought I would enjoy them too, and I will, because I have been looking at them. So I bet you I did have them on my wish list too. Lord knows I have a ton of stuff in my wish list. Is just ever growing. You find that happens to you too? I mean, I must have hundreds of things in that coloring wish list. I have a wish list for coloring things and then a wish list for diamond painting things. The diamond painting one isn't near as long as the coloring wish list. I should go back through that wish list because there are, I'm sure, a lot of things that I added probably years ago that no longer should be on there. Either I had purchased it myself, which I've already noticed I have done in the past, and it will still be on my wish list. And because we did light blue here, I'm going to do light blue there. So yeah, I got to go through that wish list and just see what's all on it because I have never gone through it. See, I told you I was getting something from UPS that said Amazon, and I didn't have, for a change, have anything coming that I ordered. And I've been getting better now about whenever I do order something from Amazon, I will always use a fellow Colored Tubers if they are an Amazon affiliate, and I know many of the other Colored Tube people are Amazon affiliates, so I'll always go through one of their links when I order. So they get a little bit of it too, right? Doesn't cost me anything more. And I just love the fact that, you know, you use their link, and whether you order, you know, maybe they have just a generic link like I do down below too. I have just a generic one, and then, you know, I'll always link to a specific product from the video too. But even if you use the specific product link, anything you order, you know, we still get credit for. So you can go to either link, and so that's what I'll do. Go to one of their links and then just order through that. And I'll just kind of take turns between the Colored Tubers that I watch that I know are Amazon affiliates. And I'll notice that some of you guys do that too, because some things that I make a few pennies on and stuff aren't even color related. Some of them are, you know, baby things, and especially when they're more expensive items, that really helps us out because we do get a small percentage. So I know somebody, I don't know if you're watching this or not, but somebody had, because of course we don't get who ordered, you know, we don't see who ordered what. We can just look at a list of items that was ordered and mailed. Once it's mailed, then we get credit. But yeah, somebody had ordered real expensive playpen and something. Playmat, I think. And yeah, so that, you know, really, with getting a percentage of that, that really helped me. So that is always greatly appreciated when you guys do that. So I like to return the favor to some of my fellow Colored Tubers, because of course we can't order through our own links. That'd be nice. But no, you can't do that or you get banned. You have to go by the rules, right? So yeah, I wanted to sit down right away and look through those books, but I'm like, no, Lisa, finish your video. So we'll see how long Bella stays quiet this time. It's not really nice out, so maybe nobody will come by with their dog. She won't have to bark about that. I hope you guys don't mind all the interruptions when she barks during my videos. That's why I always pause them now, because I know how irritating her bark can get. Kind of just goes right through you, that high-pitched bark. And oh yeah, when that UPS guy stops, ugh. Or if there's something too big to fit in my mailbox, like if I get a diamond, a larger diamond painting or something, and so the mailman will bring it right to the door. And they always honk the horn. This UPS driver too honks the horn. The other drivers don't do that, but this one does for some reason. He'll always honk the horn when he stops. Well, that alone gets Bella going, even if she doesn't see the UPS truck, which she always does because she can hear him. But if she happens to be sleeping real soundly or something, on the rare occasions where she doesn't hear the UPS guy, if he does happen to honk his horn, oh boy, that'll get her going. And then if you go to the door right away, she always thinks somebody is there. So, and she's really got to bark up a storm. Oh, our animals are so much fun, aren't they? I know, I complain about her all the time, but she is a sweetie. She's still worth having around. Dogs are just more work than cats, and that's why, if I had to choose between being a cat person and a dog person, I still overall am more of a cat person than a dog person, but I'm just an animal lover all the way around, so. Especially little kittens. Oh. Nothing cuter than little baby kitties. Except maybe little baby bunnies. They're adorable too. Oh, my tummy's gurgling. Must be it from that stir fry I had at lunch. Now we got to go all the way around again with this blue. Because you know me, I can't leave anything white. I have a hard time doing that. One of these times on a mandala or some design that I color in, I'm going to take Anne's idea. She has these, these gemstone stickers where you got, well, what it sounds like. They look like little gemstones, but they're on a card and they got sticky backings. I have a ton of those too. And I never knew what the heck I was going to do with them. I don't even remember why I bought them. I've had them for quite a while. And when I seen her do that, I'm like, oh, I could do that. What if it would work on this one? I might just have to pause yet again and go get them and see once I'm finished with this. Put an extra little bling bling. Because, yeah, I seen her do that a couple of times, and I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. Really, enhances the mandala. Makes it extra special. Of course, she does extra special mandalas anyhow. She doesn't just always straight color hers. She'll get out the chameleons and do really pretty mandalas, whereas I just straight color my mandalas. Typically with my gel pen, sometimes with alcohol markers, but Usually this is my gel pen coloring. Okay, we're gonna flip you around. I got my Happy Mail up there, it's in the way. Had to keep it close at hand. You are such a sweetie for sending that to me. If you are watching this, you probably know who you are. She's probably wondering, is she talking about my Happy Meal or somebody else's? Yeah, I've never gotten Happy Meal before. And it does make me happy. I see John gets a lot of Happy Meal. It's always so neat to see what he all opens up. I like watching his Happy Meal videos. He's another one that seems like such a sweetie. And he works with just about everything. I mean, he works with markers, with pencils a lot, and gel pens. I'm trying to work with everything now that I got my pencils back out for the picture out of Johanna's book. So I am hoping to get my pencils out more often. And some of my different brands of pencils, because I have many different kinds. So this picture is being colored, not this one, but the Johanna one that I'm doing right now is being colored with Prismacolors. Because out of all my pencils that I have, that is the brand that I have worked with the most in the past. But I would like to get out my polychromos and color with them and my Holbeins. Polychromos are just really different than Prismacolor. I am such a blender, you know. The Prismacolors just blend together so nice because they're so soft, and I think that's why they're everybody's favorite. Well, okay, not everybody, but the vast majority of people like the Prismas. And the Polychromos is more of a layering pencil. And I'm typically not patient enough to really take the time and put down layer after layer of pencil. So I'm going to have to kind of play with those a little more. But they have some beautiful colors in there that are quite different than the Prismacolors. So. And then the Holbeins are kind of a in-between one. They're definitely not as soft as Prismacolor, of course, but they're not quite as hard as the Polychromos either, so they're kind of in between. I would say they're more on the Polychromos side, though, than the Prismacolor, because, yeah, you cannot blend with them, unfortunately, like you can blend with the Prismacolor. I would say they're closer to a layering pencil, too, at least to me. I've colored a few pictures with them, and that's kind of what I found, anyhow. So we shall see what the future holds as far as what all my coloring mediums I get out and I will be able to color with. All depends upon what pops up in the meantime as far as videos to do. either new products or new coloring books or new things I want to show you. I do still want to get out my pan pastels too and color with them, like a portrait type of, you know, a face where you color skin and stuff with them. But I am just such a newbie at doing that. I'd be really nervous to do it on camera because it could be a complete disaster. But then I guess we learn from our disasters, right? And the next time would be maybe, hopefully, a little bit better. I know it was quite a while ago that somebody had mentioned they would like to see me color with the pan pastels because they had just gotten the entire 80 set and was looking for tutorials. Well, it's like, don't come to me for tutorials. I don't do any tutorials. Not even on mediums that I'm a little more familiar with, which really isn't much besides gel pen, and you really don't need any tutorials on that. So yeah, this is definitely not a tutorial channel. Nope. There's a gazillion other channels out there if you really need to learn techniques and how to do things. This is more just a color and chat channel and showing new things. Some how-tos, you know, on, like for instance, when I first started up my channel earlier, well, I actually started up the beginning of the year, and I had showed how to use a laminator to add gold foiling to your picture, and I love doing that every once in a while. I'll have to get that out again and do one so you can look back if you're curious about that. It's again one of my first videos. It's probably from January or so of this year. But so I mean, I do show different things like that, other things that I find out about that I think you guys would be interested in. And then, of course, some diamond painting related things, new products I find out about, and things like that. So, yeah, that's kind of basically what my channel's about for you newer subscribers. Gosh, my stomach won't be quiet. It's really talking up a storm. It's making up for me. I'm getting quiet and my stomach's getting louder. Alrighty. Anybody skip forward through this part yet? Alrighty, let's see. This past weekend, a week ago, kids, you know, these days just think they are so flippin' invincible, right? It was like 11 o'clock at night, last Saturday night, I think it was, because I don't think it was Friday night. And took Bella out to go potty for the last time before I could take her harness off. you know, and then she'll wait for me to go to bed at like midnight or so. But yeah, 11 o'clock at night, and go out the door, and I could hear these kids talking. Sounded like, you know, they were high school age. I heard a couple girls, and I could tell they were relatively close. And then I seen, parked in front of my next door neighbor's house, there was a car. And all of a sudden, yeah, this car takes off, and I could see in the taillights, and these two girls are laughing away. These girls were hanging, they were standing on the back bumper of the car. I don't know what they were hanging on to, but yeah, they were on this car as it's driving down the street. I'm like, you idiots. Car wasn't going exactly slow either. I mean, it wasn't zooming down the street, but I'm like, you do know a cop lives right down here. And the thing that was really scary is right shortly after they took off, a big pickup came through, and that truck was going quite fast. And I thought, I could see the taillights of the car with the girls on the back, like maybe a couple blocks away, and this truck was maybe only a block behind him. And all I could think of is, what if one of them girls falls off the car, and this pickup is shortly behind them, not going real slow, wouldn't see this girl fall off and run right over her. I mean, I just can't believe what kids will do these days. I mean, yes, I did some dumb things when I was young too, but I can't say I ever did that one. Oh man, oh man, oh man. You know, and then, was it that night, or, you know, maybe it was a different weekend. You know, I go to bed at anywhere between midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning. And every once in a while, even during the winter, there'll be some kids outside after midnight just laughing up a storm. Don't care how loud they are when everybody in the neighborhood is sleeping. I mean, oh, very, very loud. And it's not like they're just walking down the sidewalk and you know they're going to be disappearing shortly. No. I don't know if they go sit on the grass. You know, we have that open play area for the Catholic school right across the street. And it's all like a, kind of like a mowed, I don't want to say field, because there's a couple baseball diamonds in there, and they play soccer and, you know, everything in there. So it's a big area, and I don't know if they go over there and sit or what. I'm assuming that's what they're doing. But yeah, they're definitely not quiet. And when it's that late at night, I could see if it was maybe 9, you know, 8, 9, even maybe 10, although that's starting to get late. But, you know, after midnight, no. That is way too late to be out making that kind of noise. Hey, you know, in past videos I've complained. I do a lot of complaining, don't I? I'm such a crab. No. About the neighbor letting their dog run loose all the time, and it's pooping all over. And, well, I don't know if, and he's a cop on top of it. It's my next door neighbor's son, and he lives right kitty corner from her, so he's, you know, right down the road. And their big dog goes roaming around all the time, comes up the street here past the house, and of course drives Bella crazy. And then, yeah, poops up by the mailboxes, which is right by the playground where the school kids play. So it's like, that is just, it's wrong on so many levels. And you know, this past week, that dog has not roamed itself all week. I seen the wife out walking this dog, and was it yesterday or the day before? I actually seen the husband, the cop himself, walking this dog, and I have never, as long as I have lived here, and that's been 10 years now, ever seen him walk that dog. So, yeah, I don't know. Somebody said something to him. Maybe my next door neighbor did, because she was getting, she is already, Bob's said, not mean or anything, but is just in passing had mentioned to Janice something about how he leaves his dog run, and she's already gone down the street and chased this dog back home over by him. So maybe she actually went and said something to him finally. I don't know. But this dog has not been roaming. Because lately what I'll do, if it's really hanging around across the street and isn't moving on, I'll go out there and I'll yell, go home. And this dog's pretty smart. He or she will, start moseying down the sidewalk then towards home. So yeah, either Bob or I'll go out there and yell, go home. And he always, says something about the dog. And I says, it's not the dog's fault. I said, the dog itself seems like a very nice, mellow, calm dog. So I said, it's not the dog's fault. It's their fault to just let this dog out the back door so that it can go to the bathroom or whatever, and then it always walks off. So it's the people's fault. It's the owner's fault. So don't yell at the dog. Yes, it's irritating when this thing comes walking up the street unleashed, but again, it's not his or her fault. I can never figure out if it's a male or a female, because one time you'll see it coming up the street with a pink collar on, and the next day you see it, it'll have a blue collar on. So I'm like, I'm confused. And they don't have two of them, so it's got to be the same dog. I mean, if it's a girl, I could see maybe having a pink and a purple one, but why would you put a blue collar on? You're just confusing us. So yeah, we'll see if that continues. If they continue to actually walk this dog and pick up after it. Their daughter had taken it for a walk once, and right up the road, right up the street here, in front of my next door neighbors, on the boulevard, this dog takes a big poop, and she just left it. Like, are you kidding me? That's just as bad, if not worse, as leaving your dog roam wild or roam free. You were there when it went to the bathroom. You know it's there, and you leave it. You can get fined for that. I told Bob, I says, you can even get fined for taking your dog for a walk and not having something even with you to pick up their poop. You have to prove you have something with you. Not that I don't think, I don't think cops are going to be stopping you when you're out walking your dog just to make sure you have a baggie or something with you. But I've never heard of anybody really getting a fine because you don't have something with you, but you do have to have something. And most everybody that goes by here, with their dogs, they always pick up after their dogs. Just common courtesy, right? It's nice and quiet here. I've been home alone this afternoon now. Bob's been gone. Him and a buddy from work, the owner's son that works there too, went to look at this back blade to hook up to a tractor because their plant, their factory, is on gravel. It's gravel parking lot and road to get down off the main drag down to this plant, this factory. And it always has such horrendous potholes that, you know, these cars gotta crawl over because they're deep. And Bob's already taken in buckets of gravel and has manually filled in these holes in the past for them. He wasn't asked to do it, but he'd go do it on the weekends on his own time because that parking lot is just so horrendous. So the owner had just mentioned that, you know, he was going to look for a back blade for the tractor that they have so that they're able to grade out the parking lot and, you know, maybe dump some gravel and smooth it out and stuff. So Bob was kind of looking around for one for him and found a used one. It's a ways away from here, but so him and the owner's son were going to look at this back blade today. Unfortunately, the guy isn't going to be there. It must be like a second house for him or something, and he's only there on Wednesdays. So they're going, and this is a ways away. It's like a, I don't know, hour away from here maybe. So they're going to look at it today, and then if they decide they want it, they got to drive back with a truck and a trailer and pick it up on Wednesday. So it's kind of a pain. But so that's where he's at. Really don't know when he's going to be back. They left at like 10, and then they were going to stop for lunch too. And then somebody else, I didn't catch who it was going along with them, because right out in this same area, this guy wanted to look at this dog in, I think it was a regular pet place, a pet store, or maybe it was one of the shelters or something, and that didn't open up until like noon or something like that. So that's why Bob and them couldn't get going earlier. They had to wait. And let's see, how should we do these? I think we'll go the smaller ones light again. Maybe we should, now maybe we'll do the opposite up here. And so, yeah, he was looking at adopting this dog. And so he figured, because it was so close to where they were going to look at this back blade, that they could just all go together. So they got to go look at this puppy, too. He's always bumming somewhere. He was gone this morning because his other car was, he had the van here, and he's got a car also, and it's parked out where he used to live by his brothers and sister, and needed to have new shocks put on it, or one new shock. So he had gone out there to start working on that before he had to go and look at this back blade. So I don't know if he got the car done or not. Otherwise, he'll probably go back out there again. So yeah, he's always on the go. Me, I just want to stay home. I don't want to go anywhere. Okay, let's do the dark ones. And then we only have the outside left. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet. It's getting darker out. I can tell more rain is moving in. It's plenty bright on camera. I can't believe how bright it is in the viewfinder here, or on the iPad, because it's quite dark in here. Very shadowy and stuff, but it's showing plenty bright on the screen, so I'm hoping that's how it is recording. Usually what I see on the iPad is pretty close to what it's, how it's recording, so I'm hoping we should be fine. It's definitely not what I see on my desk a lot of times. Supposed to be a good movie on Lifetime tonight. They always have a new premiere movie every Saturday night. So a lot of times we like to watch that. And I think, what is it called? Something like Psycho Grandma or something like that. They have some doozy of movies on there. Some of them are good, some of them not so good. You're typical. But there's just not a heck of a lot on the weekends. It's the only time we really watch cable. It's, you pay. I have just a real basic package with just a couple of additional channels added, because Bob's Drag Racing, he wouldn't have been able to watch that, so added just a little mini sports package on. And even when you have all these gazillion of channels, it's like you still can't find anything to watch. Half of them are music stations, music channels. And the other half, well, how many channels are shopping channels? And the channels that do have movies and stuff on are usually so old, or they just keep repeating them over and over. So it's like you still don't have a whole lot to watch. I like watching the History Channel sometimes, and Bob loves watching The Pickers, where they, go and find all these antiques and stuff. He loves that show. So if all else fails, you can always find the channel. The Pickers is on so much, and many times they'll have marathons of, one show after another. So he has that show on a lot. Otherwise, I'll have Lifetime on. But yeah, it's like Saturdays and Sundays are basically the only days out of the week that we have cable on at all. So it's like, call up Dish. Can we pay a little bit less, because we only watch cable 2 days out of 7 every week. And we only watch maybe a handful of those channels. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just pick out your exact package that you want, what channels you want, and you pay just a little bit per channel? We'd only have maybe a dozen channels picked out, and that would be about it. For cable channels, anyhow. We'd still have our local channels, but because during the week we always watch mainly CBS. Some ABC, very rarely NBC. Once in a while, because on Saturday nights they have Dateline. But 2020 is on at the same time, or is it 48 Hours? And I like those kind of shows. So, all depends upon which one sounds more interesting. Dateline, I think, is typically a 2-hour show. I can't really remember now. So yeah, I like watching those. But yeah, tonight at 7 is the new Lifetime movie. Always on Saturday nights they have a new premiere movie. So I don't know if we're going to watch Psycho Grandma. Grandkids probably say the same thing about me. Grandma's kind of psycho sometimes. Yep. Gotta be to survive these days, right? Wow, this is taking much longer than what I thought it was going to when I first started this picture. This thing didn't look that bad. Again, it takes you like 3 times, if not 4 times as long to do it with gel pen than if I would have colored this in with marker. Just a much slower medium than marker is. But I definitely can see me coloring more out of here. Probably off camera, but... And I appreciate getting the request, you know, from this individual who wanted to see me color out of this. If there are any books that I do have that you would like to see me color out of, or not a specific book, but maybe a brand of marker or pencil, it may take me a little bit longer to get around to doing. But yeah, feel free to, you know, leave comments or send me an email if you would prefer to do that, and not, you know, if you would prefer to talk to me and not have others see your comment about anything. My email address is always in my description, so yeah, feel free to reach out to me that way if ever you feel you want to reach out and not have it in the comments for others to read. I know I've done that a number of times to other color tubers. A couple of times I've wanted to reach out for one reason or another, and some do not, unfortunately, have their email in their descriptions. So then it's like, okay, how do I get a hold of you? That's why I like to have my email down there in case anybody does need to get a hold of me and doesn't want to leave it in the comments. I am going to be finalizing up a couple of color charts for things that I have swatched out in maybe the past month or maybe more. I still have not completed and I forgot all about this, did not complete the color chart for the Aspire color markers that I reviewed. Oh gosh, yeah, that must have been last month already. So I want to finish up some color charts too. Boy, there's just a gazillion things I gotta do. That big, I don't know if you've seen that. I did a review on Color My World's coloring system. It's a whole, you order the workbook for like $10 or I think $12.50 if you get the colorized version. And then well, it's supposed to be every week, but it's been longer than that now. She's got so much on her plate, but typically every week she goes through a color or two and you follow what she says and you color things in your workbook. Well, I'm a ways behind in that too. So I got to get going at that and start my Copic classes online. Been meaning to do that. Just not enough hours in the day. And it's really starting to get dark in here. Oh yeah, it's getting Getting pretty dark outside. I bet you the rain is coming. I hope those guys get done with doing what they have to do up there before the rain comes. Because once it starts, I think they said by supper time, by like 5, once it starts, it sounds like it's really going to be coming down through tomorrow. All right, how should we do these? Looks like little fishy scales. We'll do these one color, then this layer, another color, and then the outside one. So I think we'll do these the dark blue, and then we'll go to the light brown and then dark brown on the outside. Okay, so we'll do, and I think I'm actually going to get all 3 colors out, and I'm going to see if it gets much darker in here. I am going to have to turn a light on and just adjust it for you guys, because again, it still looks, well, it is getting kind of shadowy on the screen too, because yeah, it is really getting dark in here. Let me turn my light on up here and just hope and pray it doesn't make it too light for you guys. Let's see. We don't want that one. We don't want that one. Let's go with that one. And that is not bright enough for me, but again, I don't want to make it too bright for you guys. Does that look okay for you? It helps me a little. It's still a little dim, but again, I don't want to make it too bright for you guys. Yeah, just like that, it started really getting dark in here. But hopefully this won't take a whole lot longer to finish. Like I said, I'll go around with all 3 colors at once, so then I'm not flipping you around like a merry-go-round here all the time. I did, you know, I'm trying a different lighting situation, but I have a light up on that side now. I took it off my desk down here so that it wasn't shining so brightly on my paper, hoping that will help. Well, then it got kind of shadowy, which it is kind of now, but it doesn't look like it's too bad. But so I have my light up over here so that if I do color at night, when it's, you know, real dark out, I will turn both lights on so that I have light coming from both directions. And then, you know, hopefully it won't be shadowy, but yet it won't be too bright. The light is very bright and you can't dim it. You know, it doesn't have a dimmer on it. Whereas this other desk light that I bought a few months ago, and I really do like it, that one you can dim and you can pick different tones of light on it. So I really do like that. The light is awesome, and they are very expensive. And when I first started coloring, again, when I was up here, I initially did start coloring at the dining room table. And I thought, rather than I have a big chandelier hanging from the ceiling in there. And rather than have that thing on with a gazillion bright light bulbs burning, I thought it would make much more sense to just have a light down by me. And so that's why I bought this nice light, and it has a round base to it with storage in it, and then also has a plug-in, so if I needed to plug in something, I could plug it right into the light rather than having to find another outlet. So, I mean, it is really nice. I like it. It is, you know, a smaller one, and it didn't cost a fortune, but anybody that has an light know that they cost more than just your typical lamp. So I hated to have it just sitting there, because I did have it on my desk down here, and I used the storage part of it to put like some Sharpies and, you know, regular writing pens and things like that in. But it was just taking up precious real estate on my desk because I wasn't using the light itself. It was just too bright for down here. When I would turn it on, it kind of blinded you guys. It was fine for me, but as far as recording, it was just way too bright. So I opted to take that off my desk, and then this one I put up above. And yeah, that seemed to work good, but like I said, it whoops, I wanted to go with dark brown up there. It seemed shadowy, so I brought back out the light. Had to clean off up there and make room for all of this. But it did open up some of my desktop down here too. So then I'm going to ask Bob if he can. I have a, oh, what do you call it? You know, one of those power bars where you plug in all your electronics and stuff into. What am I trying to think of? Tell me. You know what I'm talking about. Well, that can be hung on the wall because I have a lot of things plugged in up here between my chargers and these lamps and all of that. So it's all kind of congregated up on top of my desk. It's kind of a tangled mess up there of wires. So I wanted to get that power strip. There you go, power strip. Hung on the wall, because it's got the 2 screw holes in the back, you know. And I thought, oh, that would be just much more convenient to have it hung on the wall, off my desk, easy to access, because on my desk here, it has a tendency of falling behind my desk. And then I can't get at it, and it's just, be nicer to get it on the wall. Because I don't think this desk is ever going anywhere unless I move. Which, I hope I never have to move. The thought, when Bob first got sick, you know, I thought I was going to be having to sell the house and move. And, oh my gosh, just the thought of it so overwhelmed me. I just the basement alone. Oh, and then there's the pantry, and then there's this, and then, oh my, yeah. My anxiety level was kind of through the roof there for a while. Not only because of Bob's cancer, but yeah, so many other unknowns. Scary times. And moving can be very stressful, even if it's an exciting time because you're moving into a new house or, you know, a bigger place, or it's still a lot of work. And me, I cannot imagine where I would go with everything if I had to downsize and move into like an apartment or something. Where would I go with all my coloring stuff? I'd have to do without furniture. Priorities. No bedroom. That's my coloring room. Because I have a 3-bedroom house now, and I can't imagine going like down to a 2-bedroom. I have a spare room that I have my son's bed in yet from when he lived at home. And that's where the grandkids' Xbox is, which I know can be moved out. But when somebody sleeps over, it is really nice to have that spare room. Plus, I have things stored in there. But yes, if I had to go down to a 2-bedroom, you just make do. It's just, where would I go with everything else? I have a lot of stuff in this house. So I don't know. Hopefully I won't have to worry about it. Okay, let's just finish going around. I only have a little bit more. I'll just watch where my hand goes. I think this second part's going to be quite a bit longer than the first part even. I thought when I finished, paused the first time, or not paused, when I finished part 1, I kind of thought I was about halfway done. But evidently not. Okay. But we are almost done with it now, because this last part was only right around an hour, I think. This one's going to be longer than that, so because we're at about an hour now, and I had to pause a couple times, so. Oh yeah, finish up this video. I can look through my books. My new books, that is. Tonight, after I'm done diamond painting, I would like to, I'm coloring, I don't know if you guys watch Zoe Archer, but she is hosting Colortronic May. And I have both the Colortronic books. It's color by number books, if you're not familiar with them, and they're huge. The books are gigantic. And she started coloring a flamingo page. Not flamingo. Peacock. Yeah, it's one of those birds, one of those big birds. And this peacock they're all done in like fantasy colors. They're not realistic. But this peacock had such pretty, bright colors, and I'm like, yep, I gotta color that. So I'm in the middle of coloring that one for her color along. I would like to color one for John's too. His is halfway to Halloween. So I was thinking I would maybe get out Jade Summers Chibi, what is it, horror chibi or chibi horror, and color a picture out of there. Or I do have a few other Halloween books too. I'll have to look through them. And sometime color a Halloween picture. I don't know if it'll be on camera or off. Because I've been doing quite a few color and chats, and still have to do a color and chat for the next part of Johanna's pictures, so we shall see. Okay, let's go around with this dark brown. The last outer section. I do like how this is turning out. Even with the boo-boo. Too bad you can't erase gel pen. I've already in the past tried going over that, like with a white gel pen or white Posca and stuff, and that does not work too well. Nope. I mean, it'll cover it with like a white Posca and stuff, but then you can't hardly color over that with the other, color gel pen that you meant to put down initially. Yeah, so make a mistake with gel pen, you're pretty much stuck with it. Unless you put down a light color as the mistake and it was supposed to be a darker color. Then you can, go over the top. And sometimes the color is, changed a little bit from what it should be, but no biggie. I've had to do that in the past. So that red is a little purpley in that spot. Oh well. Just move around this mandala. Oh yeah, I'm glad I ended up with a dark color on the outside. I think that kind of acts as like a frame. Okay, let's go down from up here then, and we'll just finish this side up. So yeah, I will record then probably tomorrow a Happy Meal video. Yay! Do flip throughs of those books. I'll have to send her a message. A lot of those Chromatek pictures are pretty easy to color, and they don't take real long. Like I had colored the rose out of one of the books. I can't remember which one. And, it had big open spaces, and is that the one I colored online or on camera with you guys? Which picture? I colored one as a color in chat. No, I don't think it was the rose. I think I colored that one on my own. Can't remember which one I colored on camera. Anyhow, it was with my Faber-Castell Pitt pens. And yeah, that one went really fast. But yeah, this peacock's pretty intricate. I've been working on it for quite a while, and I got a ways to go yet on it. But that's going to have to wait till later, because yeah, I'm going to be spending a number of hours on the diamond painting now. Get these copied over, these videos copied over to the computer and start editing them and let them run while I diamond paint. So, even though you'll hear many of us, say how long it takes to, between recording and then actually getting it up on YouTube and, rendering it and editing and all that stuff, it's takes many hours, but it's not like you got to sit there and babysit the thing the whole while either. So the things that, the parts of it that take the longest, yeah, you can just let run. The uploading to YouTube is one of the longest parts, and yeah, you just let it run, do something else. Either color or do chores. Or yesterday I took a shower and went to Wassa. All right, woohoo! It is done. Let's move in just a little. There we go. What do you think? I like it. I think that turned out nice. Like I said, I haven't colored with browns and blues in a long time. So, yeah, I love how the outside turned out too. This really makes it look like a flower, doesn't it? Yeah, I like that. What do you think? So yeah, I hope you liked watching, you enjoyed watching this two-part color along, and if you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you are new to my channel. I hope everybody's having a terrific weekend, and as always, happy coloring. Until the next video, bye-bye.